Hey, what is up, guys? Welcome back to part 11 of the 2020 F1 My Team Career Mode. If you have been enjoying this series, please make sure smash that like button, share it with your mates, leave a comment, tell me what you like, tell me what you don't like, and subscribe to the channel for more videos. It's super helpful right now. We've had some really nice support in the recent days and weeks to this channel. It's a new channel, obviously, and we've had so much support, and it's really gone a long way. So thank you for that. But we have Austria this week. We have a wet practice as well. As you can see, we're second last, still in overall R&D. We're trying to work for some major upgrades. So they're about 1,000 R&D points at the moment. We're going to get into the track acclimatization, the barriers in intermediate tyres in the wet. It's a little slippery, but it's not too bad. I'm quite confident around Austria. It's one of the few tracks I am confident around. I've done this track a lot in other driving games. Mainly Project Cars 2. I've played this track so much on that game. It's one of my favourite tracks ever. This track, it's just so simple. It's really easy to learn, and you can push quite hard on it. So we're just going to do the barriers, just show you quick. Me doing free practice, but it's not going to upset the car too much doing intermediate work. Where, like, it's not going to upset me going from wet to slicks during a race. It doesn't really make that much of a difference around this track. You're not that much slower on the intermediates, as we miss a barrier there. But I think we're banking like 1 minute. A 1:06 is extremely good. A 1:07, 8, 5, or 5 is incredible. But if you can get a 1:07, 1:08 in the dry, it's pretty fast. 1:06 is very fast, depending on where you get into that mode anyway. But as you can see here, we do skip to lap 3. There's no point in showing you all 3 laps of the acclimatization. That's just boring. We want to get into some quali, and we want to get into some races. But the reason I have left this in the video is just so you guys know I am doing some practicing. You've got to get a little R&D points. So the end of practice as well on the intermediates, not doing a fast lap, we actually hit 5th, which shows me, okay, it's only 10 seconds behind slicks in the wet. That's not bad. The Norton's going alright round here. Our car seems to be made for fast corners, but not power. Even Mick's 17th, like, he's ahead of a few people there, a Renault and a Racing Point, which is not like Mick at all. So we are going to go into qualifying. And it's an exciting one. It's really exciting doing this qualifying in Austria. I have been waiting for Austria as well for a while. See, nice sleek car there. I'm not actually a massive fan of the Bumblebee livery anymore, but I'm not going to keep changing it. It's going to be like this to the end of the season, and then I'm going to put a poll out which kind of colours. I'll put 3 liveries out on Twitter and Instagram, and I'll get people to vote on which ones to use for the following season. Seeing as a lot of people have messaged me saying, maybe you should try this kind of one. Ones you can buy on the Podium Pass, I think it's called. We're going to start here with a flying lap. I don't think anybody I know drives out the garage. Everyone hits flying lap. What's the point? And here we go. Let's fly down. We're going to speed through quali here. Straight into turn 1. Cut the corner. Worst way you can do that. It's actually slower. DRS open. I'm going to finish lap 8, 1:07, which is, believe it or not, a pretty damn good time. We go 3rd in Q1 so far. But you can see already, just take that corner nicely and you get a 10th. No matter what. So, and we go purple in sector 1 just with that correct corner. Hit the apex dead on, get a good exit there, and you got another DRS trap here. This suits my this circuit suits my car a lot better as well, because my car hasn't got a great power unit, and being able to use DRS there kind of helps me boost me along just that little tad. That that the straight's not long enough to compensate anyone else, if that makes sense. As we go purple in sector 2 as well. And at this point, I'm going, wait, I have half a second up on the other lap. The other lap wasn't a bad lap, especially for my car. But I am flying around here. Verstappen's got a 106.7. We're about to hit a 106.4, which is the fastest lap of qualifying 1, as you can see here. By 0.2, we're ahead of Bottas in a Mercedes. And I'm like, what? Are you serious? Normally my quality's right down the bottom. This is inconsistent. I know I'm good on this track. I know this track, but I'm not this good on this track, surely. I mean, I haven't changed the difficulty. I'm going to turn it up, if anything. Like, I was going to turn it up last episode. It was on 90%, I think. I'm going to turn it up to 100%. I'm just going to jump a big 10%, which is massive on F1. But I've got to eventually try and get to 110. So when the car gets better, I'll get better. You see me here? Okay. I got P1 in Q1. Let's see if I can just maintain that then. That's my benchmark now. I'm looking for the top 5. If I'm ahead of Bottas, I know I can set a fast lap. Q2, the Mercedes are both on medium tyres, so they're looking to start the race, go on a longer stint. So they're going to be slower. So there's definitely an option for me to try and get into Q2 as P1 again. If I can do it in Q1, why can't I do it in Q2? It wasn't the fastest lap I've ever set in my life, but it was a pretty damn fast lap. You'll see me here absolutely pushing this car to its limit. Really, really burning the wheels around these corners. I can feel the vibration on my wheel as I'm going round. And I'll give it just a bit too much welly. I'm trying too hard and I destroy the front wing. Here's what it is. Nice little bang there. But I'll just show you. I go back. We've still got 5 minutes in Q2, so I can definitely set another lap. I'm not after hitting P1 in Q1. There's no way I'm just going. I'm not folding out. And luckily, the damage only took I think 5 minutes to fix. 4 minutes to fix, something like that. It was very quick. So we are going to set a time on our second attempt of lap 1. I'm just hoping it will crack us into Q3, so then I can really push. As we cross the line, we get a 106.7, which is what Bottas got in Q1. And guess what? We go first again. As you can see there, Valtteri and Lewis both had the mediums on. So that's why they're slower. And I was like, man, I should have had the mediums on. So we're in Q3 now. For the 3rd time this season, I think. We've only got to Q3, maybe 2nd. I can't remember. I think it's the 3rd. We're going to try and set a fastest lap again. Now I'm looking for pole. I'm like, okay, I'm fast on this track. The Mercedes are the ones to beat. They're not even trying and they're still up there. But I'm really going to push it now. As I'm giving it all. I've got a little toe off Albon, which is nice as well. And the AI does let you go through, which is nice. All other F1 games, it's like as soon as they come out for a flying lap, they're just racing you no matter what. This game registers that you're on a flyer and they're not. So that's really nice to see. Nice addition to the game. I'm going to show you the full lap here. It's come around the most common overtaking pass in real life. Not so much in the game for me anyway, but around the outside or inside there, either way works for most people. See Charles Leclerc there setting a 107. And it's like, okay, well I've done 106s, so if I hit a 106, that means pole for me. You see I hit purple in sector 2 there. On the little mini map it shows it. Doesn't show it on the splits yet, just because I haven't set a base. As we go a little wide around the final 2 corners, but when you go wide down there you get a really good exit still, and we still set a 106.556, so that is a tenth slower than my Q1, and that's the fastest lap I could manage, and I get P2. I get a tenth off a pole position, but I'm second in a Norton. Mercedes, Norton and a Ferrari. I'm sorry, what? Take that, Norris. Take that, son. Me and Mick going to do well in Austria, I hope. I'm going to try. I'm second on the grid starting. See what we can do with it when we go into the race of Austria. Whew!
Good afternoon and welcome to Spielberg and to a circuit that in one form or another has held every Austrian Grand Prix in the championship, except the very first back in 1964. It was at this race that John Watson lost a bet and his beard when he took Team Penske's only F1 victory in 1976. If anything, the stakes are even higher today, with 25 points available for victory and a crucial advantage in the championship fight. It's one of the shortest laps on the calendar today then, with 7 rights and just 3 lefts, making up the 10 corners of this high-speed circuit. Turn 2 is barely a corner at all. They'll be flat out through there, a left-hand kink into the uphill braking zone of Turn 3. Turns 1, 3 and 4 are all potential opportunities to overtake. Joining us today to oversee all the thrills and spills, it's Anthony Davidson. And great to see you. How are you feeling about the race today, and how are the circuit conditions from what you've seen?
Well, it's looking a bit cold out there if I'm honest. These tyres have quite a narrow operating window in terms of the temperatures they need to extract the best grip. So with a cold track surface, it's going to be harder to keep those temperatures up, which will lead to lower grip and maybe more mistakes.
With the race minutes away from starting, here's what today's grid rundown looks like. Good job yesterday from Valtteri Bottas. The Finn starts from pole position and Lewis completes the front row. Looking down the rest of the grid, we have Vettel, Hamilton, Max Verstappen and Leclerc, Albon, Gasly, Sainz and Antonio Giovinazzi, Kvyat, Stroll, Kimi Raikkonen and Ocon, Ricciardo, Grosjean, Lando Norris and Kevin Magnussen, Perez, Russell, Schumacher and Nicholas Latifi. Which of these talented drivers will come out on top today?
So Mick is starting second from last. We're starting in second position. We've got soft to mediums. We've got to use the soft tyres obviously because we finished Q2. But off the line, I'm pretty sure I'm going to get Bottas here as the 5 red lights go. Lights out. Bottas almost rear split, doesn't have any heat in the tyres from the mediums from that formation lap, and we just nick him straight away. No hesitation, we just nick him. With our soft tyres, we are really fast off the line. As you can see here, like a whole car length ahead as soon as I accelerate away, which is fantastic. And now we go into turn 2. All the way at the end of the straight. Bottas trying to get back. I'm having none of this. Mate, I am started second. I am going gung-ho to hold this position for as long as I can. There is no way anything else is happening here. Bottas is going to be screaming up my gearbox the whole way, I know it. But if we can just maintain our tyres nicely, position our car correctly, we might be on for a really good finish here. We started second. I've got to keep saying that. Second. We nearly got pole position in a Norton. In this old banger. This horrible car. With a horrible livery, but with the pit crew that doesn't match. Everything that doesn't make sense. But we're doing it. As you can see, Bottas right up the side. I'm having to brake late and just pinch him on the inside. Get a nice exit. Don't quite hit the apex fully, but we hit enough. We get close enough that we get a really good exit. And I set the fastest toner lap. Won't last too long, so 1 minute 12. But not bad. Good start to the race. As we come to the final sector here, and I've gone purple in sector 1 and 2 again. Going to come to end of lap 2. It is 101, 102, 103, 104. So I've crossed the line now in quali. That's how much slower it is race pace than it is to quali. But we set a 109. Bottas smashes it. He's going faster. There's no doubt about it. We all know Vettel, Bottas, Verstappen, Leclerc, Hamilton. Hamilton's not even in the top 5 for the first time this season. I don't think he's finished anywhere other than the podium all season so far. He's only got 1 third place as well. So it's first, second, first. He's won the last 5 races, I believe. So we're going to be trying our guts off here to just pull away from Bottas. He's just shy of a second. He's 700ths there. I don't know how long we're going to be able to hold him. He's on the mediums as well, remember? So our tyres are going to die very quickly. His one should last until probably about lap 12, 11 or 12 for him. As are being changed, I believe, lap 7 or 8. So Come around the final corner here after starting lap 4. It's personal best, but it's still not enough. Verstappen's actually going the quickest now. That Red Bull is flying. Will he be able to maintain it though? Verstappen's been very inconsistent this year, much like real life to be honest. He's absolutely insane for 1 or 2 races and then randomly he'll just spin it out and crash. As we have a little look at where Mick's going. Mick's fighting the Hasses again. He's ahead of the Williams. Just same old story with Mick at the moment. The car needs to be upgraded for him. I don't think... I'm kind of liking the Red Bull scenario. I'm the Verstappen. The car suits me. Whereas the Alex Albon, or the Pierre Gasly, e.g. Schumacher, they just can't drive the car the way I drive it. So that's okay. It's okay. Once he ranks up as well, his driver rating, he'll be a lot better. As we take a defensive line at the start of turn 4 here. Bottas, I can see him sneaking up. He's getting real smelly. I can smell him. I can smell the fin, the flying fin. Valtteri Bottas. I'm going to get butchered for saying that incorrectly. But I do have a Finnish person in my house. So I get yelled at if I say it wrong. I have to try. Verstappen's still got the fastest lap. Vettel in 3rd. So we've got a Norton, a Mercedes and a Ferrari in the top 3. I set a purple sector 2 again. So we are getting there. We are going fast. We are holding their speed. Getting on to lap 5. These tyres are still going. They're still alright. Which makes me think, oh, silly me. And I just butchered that lap by cutting the grass. Just turning way too early. Getting a bit nervous. I'm under pressure. Bottas is going to take a little look. He's going around the outside. I'm late on the brakes. I'm going to snip him up. Lovely jubbly. Jeff's given me a new strategy as well. I'm not sure why. I want to keep my current strategy, mate. His strategy is we don't have to stop. Because it's on a 25% race mode. You don't actually need a pit stop. But I think the only time I ever do that is if it's raining. 25% tyre wear. We've used 70% of our ERS already just to hold him at bay, which I think is doing really well. We're still in first position. And as you can see, Bottas now getting sniped by Verstappen. He's out of the top 3. Number 77 there, done by 33. And now Leclerc is having a sniff. I believe Vettel is in 2nd. And Hamilton's right behind them. Yeah, Vettel is in 2nd, yeah. And we set another fastest sector 1. So we are getting quicker and quicker. Our tyres are nice at the correct temperature now. Verstappen's in the podium. Bottas, get him out of here. He's on the medium tyres though, so he's going to do a longer stint. And in the second half of the race, the Mercedes are going to be a lot quicker. So expect Hamilton and Bottas to be up there for the second half of the race. The Ferraris might die down. Leclerc seems to be really weak in the second half of races on this game. Or so it seemed anyway. He seems absolutely batshit out the gates. As we approach the pit window, we've got 2 laps to go before we pit. And we're holding Vettel off nicely. He's within half a second. But I'm just very comfortable around this track. I'm very consistent. I am, for MotoGP fans out there, the Jorge Lorenzo of the F1 world right now. I am setting consistent laps, robotic laps. It's like an Android driving. It's like you program, you will set 1 minute 9s every time. Okay, 1 minute 9s it is. Nothing else but 1 minute 9s. You can see Vettel has a little look here. I shut the door, I say, no, 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 no. You're not having any of this. And he just backs off. He loses a lot of time backing off as well. He got a bit too close and we push him out of the DRS zone. Well, now he's back in it, but he's going to be in and out of it, in and out of it now. So he goes slightly wide on that corner there. We have Sebastian Vettel trying to dive up the inside of me. I'm having none of it. Round into turn 1. He gives me a little bump for good measure. Here we go. Now we've got Vettel up our gearbox again. We go wide into turn 2. I don't like that at all. It's just, I can't believe how close he's getting now. And how we're still managing to just play so defensive. It's like, I will give up P1. I will. If it means I'm going to crash into them. Because we could be on for an elite level finish here. If we can get a podium, I'd scream. Maybe not into the microphone, but I would definitely scream with the microphone off. You can see Vettel's got me around the outside here. Not inside, rather. We're going to finish him off here because we are elbows out. Get lost. Wheel to wheel. I think that is a legal move. I'll take that all day. Look at that. Beautiful move. Ram wheel to wheel. Trading paint. Very Verstappen on Leclerc from last year, where Leclerc had a massive moan. But I thought it was a fair... It's just racing, isn't it? You can't cry to the stewards every time something doesn't go your way. And as we set purple sector 2, we actually come in for our pit stop on lap 8. So we're going to start lap 9 on medium tyres. I didn't actually feel as well that those softs were dying off at all. I thought they could have gone a little while longer. Maybe we should have let them. So do a 2.9 second stop. Not a slow stop, but not the fastest it's been. Not sub 2. Oh, that would have been nice. And we come out behind the Williams of Russell and Latifi. So now we're going to have to nip those guys. Which, you'll just see, we're just normally ahead of these boys on the race circuit. And now we're so far ahead, we get to just... We've taken a pit stop and we can go past them again. It's great. We're actually behind Schumacher as well. But he's yet to stop. And it's nice to see he's not racing the Williams anymore. He is closing into the next set of cars, which is the Haas. And then after that it would be the Alfa Tauris and the Alfa Romeos, I guess. Depending on their R&D development anyway. It might even be like Renault and or McLaren. The midfield is just so tight. I'm going to get Georgie Boy here. I can smell blood. I can smell his fear. George Russell, the non-rookie, the guy that deserves a better seat than the Williams. And I just hope Williams get their act together somehow. They are improving the car in real life. The qualifying pace has definitely improved. Their race pace is still terrible. As we actually get Bottas, he's pitting. He's just coming out of the pits. And we have definitely got Bottas. We've got a fair few seconds on Bottas. As you can see there, he's coming out of the pits in front of a Ferrari and in front of a Red Bull. We've got Mick in the pits to our right, in our armpits there. We cross past everyone in the pits and we come out first, which is awesome. Leclerc in second now. Remember, Leclerc was running in 5th. He set the fastest lap. He's on hard tyres. Hamilton and Bottas now on the soft, so expect them to go flying. Albon also on the hard. They opted for the hard and not the medium, which is very surprising. Maybe it just suits their car better. Maybe they're overheating the medium tyres. I don't know. As we set a purple sector 2, we set the fastest lap of the race as well. Not bad at all. Minus a second off, and Bottas smashes it. Because he's on the softs. Because he's on the softs. You can't have the Finnish man. Oh, Hamilton, Bottas. Crisscrossing. 3rd to 4th. 4th to 3rd. You can't have those guys on these tyres. In real life, Mercedes should be starting from the back of the grid on hard tyres and nothing else. They're not allowed to change. Then it would be a fair fight. It's ironic that the fastest car this year is last year's Mercedes. Other than Mercedes, obviously. Racing Point seem to be the fastest. I can't say Red Bull are. I can say Max Verstappen is. But I don't get Max Verstappen. He just turns an average car, it seems, because Albon can't do it. Gasly can't do it. Verstappen just transforms that car into something incredible. He split the Mercedes in Hungary. I mean, who does that? I mean, this is just the most dominant Mercedes have ever been in their history. This year, it seems. Lewis Hamilton lapped everyone except the podium sitters. Let that sink in. What? It's incredible. I might have gone on about this in the last video, but it still blows my mind. As Danny Rick, Mr. Smiles helmet himself. Engine problems again. I think that's his 3rd DNF now from engine failure. Renault not doing it for him. Hence he's moving to McLaren. Wonder if he moves to McLaren in the game as well in the next season. But we are sitting 4 seconds ahead of Leclerc with 3 laps to go. I mean, well, 4 laps, I guess. But we're on the... yeah. Whatever. You see, so a whole corner ahead of him essentially. But Leclerc getting absolutely done there by Bottas. Bottas takes his slot. Leclerc moves to 3rd place on the hards. Bottas, as you knew they were going to fly past. They're on the softs. They are going about a second quicker a lap than me, which is very worrying as we have that amount of laps left. They could easily pinch us. As you can see, they get the corner just there. So we're about a quarter of the way through the straight as they hit the corner, which is about 3.5 seconds. It's a bit worrying. I've pretty much... I should have started on pole. I know I should have. I could have got a better lap in. Start on 2nd. First from the first corner. And I'm starting laps, the penultimate lap here, 1.7 seconds ahead of a Mercedes on soft tyres. And somehow I'm still leading this race. Almost from start to finish, other than the pit stops. It's blowing my mind that in the first season... I didn't really expect to get many points in the first season, I'll be honest. It may be due to... I'm not to sound egotistical. I'm slightly better than I thought for the difficulty setting. So I think I'm going to turn the difficulty setting up. My plan was to turn it up every season. But when it comes to the season break, I believe just before Belgium, I think we've got a few races there before then. When it gets to Belgium, I might change the difficulty up then. Maybe every half season. A season might be too long for the difficulty. But we're coming to the end of Sector 2 here, which is just unbelievable. I'm still in first here. The tyres feel a bit naff now. The softs felt a lot better around this track. The mediums seem to be wearing just as fast, if not faster, than soft tyres, which is really odd. I'm glad I didn't start on the mediums though. That would have been hell. Because I don't have the pace to chase people, but I do have the pace to defend people. That seems to be the better thing. And you've seen from previous episodes, I'm not that great at overtaking. A lot of accidents happen with me. I'm like Romain Grosjean version 2, the English Grosjean. And you can see Bottas is a second behind as we start the final lap. We're going to use all our ERS. We're going to give everything we've got to hold this position. Bottas is gaining. Hamilton wasn't even in sight of the podium places on the first stint. It's not until these soft tyres, you see how quick they are. Look, the Leclerc is a few seconds behind him now in 4th place. And the Ferrari's even, Vettel's even further back. He was sitting in 2nd for so long. We are keeping Bottas at bay. Momentarily. Try not to... These are the corners there. I'm really getting understeer from these tyres. I can't carry that much speed, and Bottas gains half a second just around that corner on me, which is unbelievable. But I'm pretty sure we're going to be able to hold him off here. We go around the penultimate corner into the final one. He's one more lap and he would have got us for sure. He's half a second behind, and we managed to win the Austrian Grand Prix. Let me turn the mic off so I can scream. Unbelievable. We won it. First win for Norton. Driver of the day. I'll see you in Parc Fermé. Woohoo!
Smiling faces on the pit wall after a superb win here in Spielberg, and rightly so, a brilliant effort from the whole team. And talk to me, what do you think it was that sealed the win for them?
I feel like consistency was probably the key today. There's being quick, and then there's being quick lap after lap after lap. If you can do that, you can capitalise on other people's errors without making many of your own. And that's an approach that can push you a long way up the field.
Well, I'm thoroughly exhausted after the excitement of that race, but I'm sure it's nothing compared to our drivers here. They've worked hard to make it up there, and it's great to see them make their way out onto the podium.
Well, I hope you guys liked that as much as I did. Norton, Inner Norton, wins the race. 25 smacking points, lovely. Joined by British Lewis Hamilton and Valtteri Bottas on the podium. Got up to the Ferraris there as well. I mean, top 14, we can't see our guy. We've got to scroll a couple pages down. He does beat a Williams and both Williams cars. That'll do, Mick. That'll do. Nearly got the Haas. A bit too far behind. We managed to get 5 points on Lando in the rivalry, which is awesome. I still can't believe we won. It was what a race it was. I'm so chuffed with it. But yeah, if there's any F1 challenges you guys would like to see that isn't anything to do with career mode, as we bank a nice 336 grand there, let me know. If you have enjoyed this video, smash that thumbs up, comment below, subscribe to the channel, and we'll see you at the British Grand Prix with our special livery. Thanks, guys.